Your energy level, if I gave you a scale between 1 and 10, 1 being no energy at all and 10 really high, over the last, say, 3 months, what would your average be for you?
5 or 6.
Okay. And what's the quality of your sleep generally like? Do you have problems sleeping, or you sleep well, you get to bed easily, or...?
Yeah, so it used to be really bad, actually, but in the last 2 months, I think it's been really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am sleeping quite well.
Okay. Do you have vivid dreams, or not really?
Not really, not too vivid, no.
What is your energy out of 10 at the moment? What number would you give it?
This exact moment?
Yeah, roughly.
5?
Yeah, okay.
So prior to April, and you were quite fit, did you have any issues?
Not with breathing, ever, no.
But you were not complaining, fatigue?
No.
May I see your tongue, please? Stick out your tongue. Open your mouth widely. Thank you. What about exercise? Can you do any exercise?
I can, but if I overdo it, I seem to get a bit worse. Like sometimes I have to lie down because I get a bit faint.
So there are 15 ingredients in your mixture.
Okay.
When they make prescription, you could see, what's in it.
Yeah.
If you are interested.
Yeah.
But they will shake, together, and you just take 6 grams.
Okay.
And you will get the measure spoon, how much weight for 6 grams, and just dissolve in the boiling water.
Okay.
And dissolve and stir when it's cold. Just drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to do one more adjustment if I can on this left side for you, if that's okay? Again, I don't want to have to push hard, so the more you relax, the easier it is. Happy with that? There we go. Was that okay?
Yeah.
That was the main one, because like I said, that's the one that's the most blocked, and it did require a little bit more of a push, but we got it to go. Now the basic version involves you dropping your body weight to the left, keep going, sticking your hip out to the right. Can you feel a bit of a stretch when you get into here?
Yeah.
I want you to pull this band and pull it more towards your chest area. Good. Can you feel how these muscles are all tensing and kind of causing you to lift up? That'll do. Relax. Now, relax. Now pull much more lower into the hip, into the belly button. Good. Didn't raise through here, and can you feel that engagement much more through the middle back?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. 一回深呼吸してみましょう。吐いて。もう一回ゆっくり。吐いて。ゆっくりにしてください。暑がりではない。 最近はちょっとそうかもしれない。
そうかもしれない。
でも普段なら手と足が寒い方で、あんまり暑がりではない。
Okay, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, I thought it would be best if I just tell you a little about myself, so you know who I am. My name is Anand Marshall. I'm a classical herbalist, Chinese herbalist, and I'm also a Japanese acupuncturist. I qualified in 1998 as a TCM acupuncturist, which means traditional Chinese medicine, and then I went on to study Kampo, which is Japanese herbal medicine, in 2000, I think it was. And then later on I went to study Japanese acupuncture, a certain style of Japanese acupuncture. So although it's called Kampo, which is Japanese herbal medicine, it actually came from China about 1100 years ago. It's based on a particular Chinese theory called the Shananlun. So I learned that the Kampo system first, and then in 2010 I did a postgraduate in classical Chinese herbal medicine on the Shananlun. So I've kind of got back to the source basically. So that's my background. I worked for the NHS for 13 years as an acupuncturist. I've been involved in teaching for about 20 years, and currently I teach Chinese pathology, and I'm in charge of the clinic at City College of Acupuncture in Old Street. So that's my background. What I thought would be useful before instead of going straight into a consultation, give some of the ideas that underlie Chinese medicine, because it can be quite confusing for a patient to go straight in, and often when the practitioner wouldn't have time to explain all this, because they wouldn't have time to do their consultation otherwise. So I think one of the most important things to remember within Chinese medicine is that if you said philosophically what's the difference between conventional medicine and classical Chinese medicine, it's not that one is better than the other, it's just what the difference is. That Western medicine, they would say, treats human diseases. Okay. So they're interested in the mass, if you like. How does this disease affect everyone, and how we find a solution that treats everybody to not suffer from this condition. The concept of a side effect is acceptable. So providing it's minor, it's okay for it to occur. Okay. But otherwise, that's roughly the big difference between that. In classical Chinese medicine, we're interested in why, rather than saying looking at human diseases, why does disease affect this individual? Okay. So we're interested in the individual, not the mass. Yeah. The concept of a side effect within herbal medicines is that it's unacceptable. If you have a side effect, you're taking something too strong, too weak, or no longer works, or incorrect. So you need to change your formula as the person gets stronger, weaker, catches coughs and colds, etc. You have to change your tack the whole time. So you'll be very flexible. So that's quite an important thing to remember, is one treats the mass, one treats the individual. Yeah. So what we're interested in is we look at people holistically. Yeah. So we say, for example, somebody had IBS. We wouldn't look at just IBS. We were looking at how their mind might affect the condition, how the weather might affect their condition, or what foods might trigger their IBS. So we're treating Melissa with IBS rather than IBS, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So we need to look at trying to find, we call it pattern recognition, or looking for patterns. So we're trying to find, somebody said to me once, trying to find patterns in chaos.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So we're looking at a whole load of symptoms of the patient, and we have to make what connects everything. So what we try and emphasise is treating the underlying cause, not just the physical manifestation. And the underlying cause can be a bit obscure for some people's thinking, because it's not simple cause and effect. It's usually accumulation of things that create an environment that allows disease to exist. Yeah. So that's what you try and do. Yeah. And the thing within Chinese medicine, you have what we call the 5 pillars of Chinese medicine. So you have acupuncture, herbs, between which is like Chinese physical therapy or bone setting, diet, and then and exercise. So each modality has a different specialist area or thing that it can be really good at treating. So I'm just an acupuncturist and herbalist. I don't do physical therapy. I wouldn't know how to, but I can use diet therapy. I don't know any qigong exercises. I'm not a qigong practitioner, but I've got some basic ideas I can use. So I work, not just me, but a good practitioner works in partnership with the patient. Yeah. So they look with them and say, okay, how did you end up here? And how do we make sure that you can create an environment that you can rehabilitate, rejuvenate, and not fall ill again? So it's really a partnership. So the way I explain when I'm teaching with my students is, I said, imagine you've got a stool with 3 legs. One is treatment, one's an activity, and one is diet. So the chair cannot stand on 1 leg, it stands on 3. The thing is, if you look, 2 legs are down to the patient. So most of the work is down to the patient.
Okay.
And it's actually me doing acupuncture or you doing herbs is one tiny piece. It's not going to be very effective if someone's going to do something that's actually working against them, which creates the environment which allows disease to exist.
Yeah.
So we try and empower people to help heal themselves, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's all the different things coming together.
Yeah. So they're the kind of ideas with how I work, and I think my colleagues do too. Yeah. So I don't know if you have any questions on that at all.
Gosh. Yeah, so it's also interesting to me with the herbs and stuff like that, is compared to like Western medicine, are the herbs like a prescription you do once someone's ill, or is it also something you do constantly to maintain good health?
Right, okay. I think the same principle you use in herbs, they use with food.
Okay.
So and the thing is, you have to look at the individual, because we're all unique, and what's good for one person isn't necessarily going to be good for another. So if you understand the nature of your constitution, if you like, then you know what the food you're more likely you should be eating. So in terms of diet therapy, which is a big modality on its own, I use it very kind of crudely, to be honest, compared to some real masters in the field. I think there's 3 stages to diet therapy. One is when you eat, one is how much you eat, and lastly is the what. A lot of people concentrate on the what you eat, but don't know the first 2. So from a Chinese medical point of view, your digestive system is strongest from sunrise until midday. So your biggest meals need to be breakfast and lunch, because that's when your digestion is at its strongest and can absorb what it can most from the food at that time of day. Any time of midday, you should be actually eating less and easier to digest foods. Very often in the West, though, patients I treat here, like I saw someone today with long COVID, and she just can't eat in the morning because she feels too ill. So that immediately tells me that her digestive system is shot to pieces. I need to look at things I can fix there, and try and also persuade her to have something to eat in the morning when her digestive system's at its strongest, and not to overload it when it's at its weakest, which is the end of the day. I think you shouldn't, if you eat the right things, because we say the kitchen's the first pharmacy. If you get things right there, then you don't fall ill, hopefully, in theory. Because a lot of Chinese herbs are actually things you find on the shelf, ginger, cinnamon, etc. It's not anything that I mean, cinnamon is the most used herb in the Shananlun, which is the system that I use. It's revered for its effectiveness for treating many diseases, in combination with other herbs, obviously. So, and that would determine on the weather as well what you'd be eating. And the next thing is portion size. So if you shouldn't be overloading your system, like I don't know if you've noticed, but in the West our plates and things are getting bigger, portion size are getting bigger. So we're probably eating more than we really need. And we say in Chinese med that if you overload your system, you create something we say stagnation or a blockage. And the byproduct that in Chinese medicine we translate it in English as damp. And damp, and we say damp creates so many other diseases. So in order to avoid it, you eat at the right time and the right amount. So you eat mindfully. So you eat until you put a little bit, maybe the size of your palm of your hand, the amount of food you'd eat. And if you think, okay, I've had enough, you just stop. But if you fill the plate, most of us will finish what's on the plate because we're taught not to waste.
Yeah.
And also we don't really think about what we're eating, we just mindfully quickly eat. So it's when you eat, it's how much you eat, and lastly, what you eat. And the what you eat is dependent on what's wrong with you or what your constitution is, as we'd say in Chinese medicine.
Wow, so there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah,
sure. So the same principles used there is applied, is repeated everywhere else.
Yeah.
So in terms of herbs, some people might need to on herbs for, it could be maintenance herb. So for me, I've got an autoimmune problem, so I live on herbs because if I don't, I'm going to have to be on immunosuppressants or steroids.
Gosh.
So instead of doing that, I use herbs to try and stay off it. And so far, 15 years I've been clean.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, it's hard work because I need to make sure my weight's right, I have to make sure my diet's correct, and I have to make sure I don't over-exercise or under-exercise, but at least I'm well though otherwise.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. Wow,
So,
it's amazing that the herbs can...
Yeah, they're really, really powerful if used correctly. Like anything, I suppose.
Yeah, like anything, like in moderation, I guess, not going too crazy and worrying about only having extremely healthy things, I guess, also is the opposite.
The thing about what's healthy, I think, is very much... There's a lot of fads out there.
Yeah.
So you'll find what is healthy. It will vary from time to time depending on whatever the latest fad is out there. But Chinese medicine hasn't really changed much in 3,000 years. It's pretty much
a solid thing
Yeah.
to trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you actually? Sorry, because I don't really know Chinese. How do you spell the? The school you said it was the Chinese word you keep saying.
The lineage system that I follow. The Shan Han Lun. SHANHANLUN.
Okay, just if I want to look it up later, I was like, I'm not going to remember this word.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a pretty obscure thing to read. It's quite hard to read. You really need somebody who knows classical medicine to explain what it means, because I read it and it doesn't make any sense, and because my teacher read it to me with commentaries, I understood it. It's like, can you imagine... Well, when I spoke to Chinese colleagues and I was saying, how come you didn't understand it? And he said, can you imagine reading, if you read Chaucer?
Okay.
And that was written, what century? 13th century was it? Something like that.
Literally no clue.
I don't know if I got the right century. But
it's definitely old.
Yeah, it's very old. It's old in Shakespeare anyway, a lot older. But we needed to be taught what they meant because the spelling was different, the words don't exist anymore, the grammar was different. The Shanlun was written, I think, 200 BC.
Fair enough.
So no wonder they need someone to explain what it meant. You know? So
and language changes a lot over time. So.
Exactly. But the ideas, have remained constant. So
wow. I guess humans are still humans. So.
Yeah. We've all got 2 legs and 2 arms and a head and a body, and that's the amazing thing about Chinese medicine is that they were amazing observers of nature and how we fitted in nature, and they knew whatever happened in nature happens with us.
Yeah.
So certain conditions they understood probably always will plague us: back pain, migraines, headaches, fatigue, anxiety, panic attack, diarrhea, constipation, chills, fevers. They observe these things always happen under certain circumstances. So they don't worry about new labels coming out, COVID-19. They already knew what to do because respiratory infections have always been here.
Yeah,
so they didn't have to come up with a new idea. It's exactly in the Shannon Lun, exactly as it described it, 200 BC. So it really was no big deal to us to look at it, understand how it works.
It's really impressive that stuff's been around that long and is still...
Yeah, the geniuses put it together, but just amazing how they did it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So I thought that'd be useful to have a bit of theory, because most people wouldn't get the chance to hear this when they go in for a consultation. So
thank you for explaining it to me as well. I'm really happy to hear about it.
Is there anything you want to ask me, or should we just go into the consultation?
I think that's enough question-wise from me. I can't think of any others. I'm sure they'll come to me later and I'll request it.
No problems, anytime. So what I'm doing is I'm going to ask you a lot of questions because I'm looking for clues like a detective in terms of how I can help you.
Okay.
And then I know what to prescribe based on what you say. At any time you don't want to answer any personal questions, feel free to stop. You can tell me off camera or not answer at all. It's perfectly okay. Or anytime you want to ask me any questions, feel free to stop me, yeah? Okay. So how can I help you today? Is there anything specific you'd like to focus on?
So it's a bit of a strange one, but recently I have been getting temperatures quite often.
Fevers, you say?
Yeah,
okay.
but low ones. So often, I don't have COVID for once.
Yeah.
I did allergy. I did catch it a few months ago.
Okay. How long have you been getting them for?
Since about May. And it's on and off. Like sometimes once a month, twice a month, and they're usually like the low 37s. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So. Enough that I can still try go to work and carry on my life, but it's a bit hard to deal with.
How long do they last for?
So if I get it usually later in the evening when I think I'm tired from the day.
In the evening you get it?
Yeah, and it feels like my body's overworked itself, and then I sleep it off and I'm fine the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it can. So okay. So it comes on in the evening.
Yeah, I can't think of any time I've had it in the morning, but I am rushing around a lot more in the morning, so less likely to realise as well, I guess.
So when you said you start feeling hot, do you sweat?
No.
You just feel hot?
Just
do your eyes feel hot?
I'm not really sure about my eyes. Maybe. It feels like my forehead. And like here I notice it as well, my neck. But yeah, I've tried to get in the habit of actually taking my temperature a lot more.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
do you get
strange.
Are you thirsty at that time as well? No.
No, not particularly. I do drink quite a lot of water. So.
Right. But you don't get more thirsty than usual.
No.
So you just get hot. Do you get palpitations with it, or dizziness with it, or fatigue
dizziness,
with it?
Yes.
Dizziness when you get hot.
Yeah.
Do you get palpitations?
So I sometimes have chest pain anyway, but I think it's unrelated. I don't think it's heart palpitations. Yeah.
Okay. And do you get night sweats?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It's just hot recently,
Just hot.
so yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's hard to tell at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap, it started roughly in May 2022, a low-grade sort of fever heat. You get it once a month? Two times a month?
Once or twice a month.
Once, 2 times a month, and it's usually in the evening, and it's your forehead side of your neck feel hot.
Yeah.
And you get dizziness with it.
Yeah, I usually have to lie down.
Do you get fatigue with it?
Yeah. I think I have that a lot anyway.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is there anything else I missed with that?
So I actually wondered at first if it was related to my period, but I can't seem to find a correlation.
Okay,
all right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sorry, there's so much at once.
Bear with me. I'm going to ask you now. I'm going to start the digging because this is just a symptom. I need to find the underlying potential causes. So your energy level. If I gave you a scale between 1 and 10, 1 being no energy at all and 10 really high, over the last, say, 3 months, what would your average be for you?
5 or 6.
Okay. And what's the quality of your sleep generally like? Do you have problems sleeping, or you sleep well, you get to bed easily, or...?
Yeah, so it used to be really bad, actually, but in the last 2 months, I think it's been really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am sleeping quite well.
Okay. Do you have vivid dreams, or not really?
Not really, not too vivid, no.
Okay. And do you wake up with energy, or do you...
Yeah.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning, I'm usually fine.
Okay. Your diet, what's that like? Do you have a varied diet? Are you restricted in any way, or...?
No, not really restricted.
You can eat everything?
Yeah, except I'm not that fussy.
Okay.
Only a few things I don't like.
Okay.
But yeah.
You don't have any intolerance, allergies, anything food-wise?
I'm not certain about it, but like if I eat too much bread, I feel a bit yucky.
Okay. And would you say you have an appetite, or do you find it hard to eat?
No, I've got an appetite.
Okay, good.
I wish I didn't, but I eat a lot.
No worries, nothing wrong with that. Would you say your thirst is appropriate to your lifestyle? Or you're an excessively thirsty person, or not really a thirsty person?
I drink a lot of tea, and then...
Is that a habit, or is that because it's thirsty?
There's a habit. I'm obsessed with green tea. So
green tea.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee, so I think I rely on tea for caffeine.
How much is a lot for you? How many cups?
On a really, really bad day, I'd have like 6 cups.
6 cups.
But most days about 4.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to really kind of frighten me then. But right. Okay. Do you have any allergies? Cats, dogs, dust, hay fever?
Hay fever I have,
fever.
yeah. But
And
that's the only one.
Is it mild, or is it quite severe? Or?
Weirdly, it used to be... I remember it being worse as a kid, but maybe that's because I actually would like itch my eyes.
Right, and now?
It's not that bad. It's livable. Just a bit of an itchy nose and sniffles.
So you said itchy nose, yeah? And runny nose, is it? Or just itchy?
Dry, actually.
It's dry, okay.
Which is why it gets really annoying.
Okay, so itchy nose, and you mentioned something else. Sorry, I missed that.
Just like, sniffles and itchy eyes if I rub them. But yeah, just try not to touch them.
Are you prone to any breathing issues, like asthma or general shortness of breath?
Shortness of breath I do get quite a bit, yeah.
Do you? Okay. Do you use an inhaler?
No, I didn't. I've never had anything like diagnosed.
Okay. And are you prone to lightheadedness, fainting?
No, I've never fainted or anything like that, no.
And would you describe yourself generally as hot or cold or neither?
It's hard to judge today because it's summer.
Yeah, it is hot. It is hot.
Most of the year cold, yeah.
And when you say you feel cold, is that cold hands and feet? Yeah. How about the body as well? Or is it more like hands and feet?
The worst is hands and feet, yeah. Sometimes like to the extent that I can't actually it's really hard to move.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm a very cold person.
Okay. This isn't to judge you or anything, it's just for medical reasons, but do you smoke at all?
No.
Do you drink at all?
Rarely.
Okay. Okay. And are you prone to pain anywhere generally? Are you prone to neck joint pains or lower back problems, or not really?
Get really stiff shoulders.
Yeah.
But it's probably my bad posture.
Okay. Your medical history, any major accidents, illnesses, operations?
No.
Are you on any prescribed medication at present?
No.
No. All right. So, what I would like to do is, can I take your pulse, please?
Yeah.
So what I'll do, if I can take the left one first. Thank you very much. Just feeling for temperature. I'm going to go a bit quiet, bear with me. What is your energy out of 10 at the moment? What number would you give it?
This exact moment?
Yeah, roughly.
5?
Yeah, okay. Take the other parts, please, as well. pulse is very deep.
So,
I'm pressing quite hard to find it. But it's got, this side is stronger, which is the good side to be strong on.
oh, that's good. Yeah, I have been told it's weak before, so...
What I'd like to do also is look at your abdomen, if I may, because in Japanese herbal, well, in Kampo and Sunderland, they use the abdomen to diagnose, not just the pulse.
Okay.
So
is that like
is
the
it right to
tummy?
lie down on the bed
Oh,
and I feel
yeah,
your
of
stomach
course.
if it's okay? Please, Melissa. Quite warm.
Yeah, quite hot today.
Okay. Tell me when I press anything feels strange, uncomfortable, painful.
Okay.
Is that okay? Is that uncomfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable, I think.
And this one?
Yeah.
Is one side worse than the other?
Yeah, the right's worse, I think.
The right feels worse, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make notes. Tell me if this is tender at all.
No, it feels fine.
That's fine.
More so than the other side, I think.
This is a little bit tender too.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be painful, but it just tells me if I can feel it or not. That's okay, no pain.
No, not really.
Okay. Fine. I'm going to lower the bed for you, Melissa. You can cover yourself where I've looked.
Thank you.
So, broad, I'm going to kind of massively simplify for the sake of discussion, but we can put herbs into different categories. So when we use herbs, we use formulas, we don't use single herbs.
Okay.
They're in combination. So sometimes some of the herbs won't have anything to do with what you're trying to treat, but they're there to try and prevent side effects.
Okay.
And try and protect the body from some of the stronger actions of some herbs. So the herbs, the formulas are what we call balanced. Hot, cold, sweet, sour, etc. Direction going up, down, or outwards.
Okay.
So, if I was going to massively simplify, you can think of herbs in like different families, if you like. So, one set of family of herbs, we can call them fighting formulas, as my Japanese teacher would call them. And these formulas we use for treating infections, bacteria, viral things, etc. But you'll use them short term because we consider them toxic. We consider them very cold.
Okay.
Because they're very cold, we use the word yin and yang. So it means it will damage yang. So you use it for a short period of time to kill. I don't know. It could be used for say pneumonia, bronchitis, certain types of infections in the body. And then once it's done its job, then you need to repair the damage that was created by the disease, but also by the cold herbs. So, so they're fighting forms of herbs, and that's not you.
Okay.
Right? You didn't have a very fast pulse, and I saw no other signs of anything. I needed the cold herbs that would treat that.
Okay.
The other type of herbs we would use would be herbs we said which are clearing. Sometimes they use the word clearing, expelling formulas. And if you want to clear or expel, you literally get something out of the body.
Okay.
So that will either make somebody sweat more, pass more water, or pass more stools, or in extreme circumstances vomit. Now I've never used a vomiting formula. I don't know how to use it, but my teacher was saying the reason, perhaps, at a time when those herbs were used, there wasn't the NHS or anything, they didn't have antibiotics, etc. So people who've been very ill might have needed these sort of treatments back then, 200 BC. So that, again, that's not you. Generally, we'd use those for somebody quite robust, somebody who may be hot all the time, raging thirst, etc. And you think, okay, this person needs emptying. There's something in there that needs clearing out of the body. And again, that's not you. The other forms we use are we call them tonics, formulas, to make you stronger, to repair. And that's the category you fall into.
It sounds right.
So that's you. So what would usually happen I would contact my pharmacy. They will make the herbs and have them sent to me, and I'd have to pass them to you. They come in a powder form, not like the old days where you had to boil them and make teas and things.
Yeah.
They're all pre-prepared. I used a company who supply a product by a company called Sun10, and Sun10 supplied the NHS in Japan since 1960 or something.
Wow.
So they've been around that long. So
Yeah.
big pharmaceutical company, they test the herbs to say chemically what are they, how potent are they, because they're only natural. Year to year, they might need to alter the dosage because that year the plant didn't produce the right amount of flavonoids or something, because the weather affects the quality of the herbs.
Yeah.
So they would test that, but also they will label it in Latin rather than in Pinyin, which is Chinese English. The reason being the Latin is precise, and it's from the Materia Medica, which is the books they use like at Kew Gardens.
Oh, okay.
So the botanical books, if you like. So that's the company that I use, but obviously other herbalists use other systems, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying how I would work, and that's what I would do.
Okay.
And that's it, really.
Yeah. Oh well, thank you for listening to all my
No,
worries.
fine. That's my job. Do it all day long.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cool.
Okay, shall we start now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, Melissa, my name is Ji Dong Wu. I'm a practitioner in this clinic. So I would like to, to see what can I help you.
Yeah. So recently, I don't know if it's related to I had COVID in April. But I'm really bad fatigue all the time. And then also quite shortness of breath.
This April.
Yeah, this April.
But you got the COVID in April.
Yeah.
Last April. Oh.
No, this year.
Your fatigue was before you had COVID.
No, since May, June, July, I've been really bad with fatigue.
Oh, May, June, okay.
Yeah. So the last 3 or 4 months. Before that, I've never been too energetic, but I was a lot better. But yeah, recently it's got worse.
Talking about the COVID in April, you got it.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it a very serious one, like a fever, temperature?
Yeah, I had a fever the first few days, shortness of breath, but I kept my taste. And also, what else did I have? I lost my smell for a little bit.
Lost smell?
Yeah. But what's strange is I didn't have any muscle aches, but I've had them recently. So, yeah.
And how many days it cleared?
I think I took about 8 or 9 days to be negative. Yeah.
And so then you said you just even you cleared or the result was negative, but you still feel a bit unwell, like fatigue, shortness of breath.
Yeah, and
okay.
That doesn't seem to get better.
And have you had any treatment since then?
I've had scans, I had a blood test and a chest scan and blood pressure, but they didn't find anything. So I've had tests but no treatments.
Okay. And while you had the COVID, did you take any medicine?
I think paracetamol.
Just paracetamol?
Yeah, just paracetamol.
Okay, I see. You mentioned you also have the smell lost.
Yeah, that's back now.
That's back now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was just 1 or 2 days, luckily.
Okay. Okay, may I check your pulse, please?
Do you have the preference?
It doesn't matter anyway. I will check both.
Oh, okay.
So prior to April, and you were quite fit, did you have any issues?
Not with breathing ever, no.
But you were not complaining fatigue?
No. I did start a full-time job April 2021, so literally a year before COVID, and I commute into London every day, so it's quite tiring, but only since after COVID has it got really, really tiring. So, yeah.
May I see your tongue, please? Stick out your tongue. Open your mouth widely. Thank you. Yeah, may I check this side?
Yeah.
Okay, just to focus on your tiredness feeling. All day or worse in the morning or in the evening?
Worse in the evening.
Worse in the evening. So, okay. And you don't have any sore throat, coughing, phlegms?
No, not at all.
Okay. What about exercise? Can you do any exercise?
I can, but if I overdo it, I seem to get a bit worse. Like sometimes I have to lie down because I get a bit faint. So if I did exercise Saturday and Sunday, by Sunday evening I'll feel really bad. Yeah.
How was your digestion?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Are you complaining like a bloating gas?
No.
No.
Yeah.
And how was your sleep?
Yeah, recently quite good. I always get 8 hours sleep.
And do you eat normal food?
Uh,
I mean, my normal means, balanced food like meat, vegetables, fruits, everything.
Yeah, I'm not very fussy. I eat a lot of meat.
You do eat meat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And bread and vegetables and fruit. Some junk food.
And did you wake up in the night when you sleep? Go to the toilet?
Yeah, once a night maybe.
Once?
Yeah, once, yeah. Because I drink a lot of water before bed.
And any, dreams, nightmare?
I never remember them. Not really, yeah.
If you didn't remember, that means you are right, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
How was your periods?
Yeah, it's regular.
Are you taking pills or you are just normal?
Just normal.
Just normal.
Yeah.
Periods, no complaining.
First day's a bit painful.
Oh, just first day. Okay.
Yeah, just the first day.
But the cycle was okay, yeah?
Yeah, it's all normal. All the same time every month. Well, the same amount of days in between. Yeah, I track it on my phone to check it's normal. So.
And do you suffer from PMS?
I get like cramps,
but no breastfeeding, moody.
No, not really.
Okay.
It depends on who you ask, I guess.
And do you complaining headache?
Sometimes, yeah, maybe, but only usually the first day if I do get a headache.
In general, but you don't.
In general, yeah, quite occasionally.
Okay, sometimes, yeah.
Dizziness, if I'm really, really tired and fatigued, then yeah.
Any like ear pressure, tinnitus?
No, not at all.
And no joints pain you mentioned, yeah? You don't have any muscle pain in your joints?
No, not anymore. I had one night, for some reason, I had really, really painful joint pain in my legs, but it was gone the next morning.
Okay.
So I have no idea what that was.
Anything else we haven't touched?
I don't think so. I think that's everything. Occasionally I get like temperatures. But really low grade ones, like 37.4 or 5. If I am really fatigued and I've done lots of exercise, I might get a temperature.
Okay. And do you have palpitations? Wrist heartbeat?
I get pain in
chest
my
pain.
Chest pain, but not palpitations.
No palpitation.
Yeah.
Okay, may I see your tongue again? Thank you. No bloating, no gas, you mentioned, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you eat cheese, dairy?
Not very often, no.
Not very often,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't drink milk or anything either.
And no ticklish sore throat?
No.
Okay. Okay. From
so much. Sorry.
Yeah, from the information you gave me, I'm pleased to say you don't have major problem, which is you got to be careful. No, it's just after COVID, which many people could have some kind of aftermath, like make the body out of order.
Okay.
What I can see, your tongue is quite normal, pink color, little bit greasy coating on the rear, which is normal.
Okay.
And just your pulse, the pulse is a bit weak. If you were vegetarian and it appeared on that kind of the pulse, I would say, okay, it's reasonable, okay. But if you do also eat meat, but the pulse still quite weak, that might just reflect you have a little bit energy level declined, deficiency. And that should be, just and echoes with your shortness of breath, tiredness. So in a way, it is in general energy level declining or deficiency. What I would suggest you take some herbal remedies. I will make some herbal medicine, which is in the powder form.
Okay.
It's extract from the herbs, but it's already made. So you just dissolve in the hot water, boiling water, just like you make a cup of tea.
Oh, okay.
And when it's cold, drink. I think possibly after 2 or 3 weeks, you should feel some improvement.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you put it in hot water and wait for it to go cold?
Just like you make coffee.
Oh, okay. So you just wait till it's drinkable. Okay.
Yeah, just like you make a cup of coffee, but you don't need to make a big cup, just a tiny bit, small amount of the water, dissolve in the water, boiling water, and when it's cold, drink.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have to warn you, although it is herb, made from an herb, it's quite strong. Because we don't use single ingredients, we will make a prescription like, between 10 or 15 ingredients. So you could imagine each herbs may have a different taste.
Yeah.
So it's like in a compound,
Okay.
a kind of the multiple taste.
Yeah.
But after a cup of drink, you should get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be very safe. No toxic, no animal products.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Do you want to
good.
do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So there are 15 ingredients in your mixture.
Okay.
When they make prescription, you could see what's in it.
Yeah.
If you are interested.
Yeah.
But they will shake together, and you just take 6 grams.
Okay.
And you will get the measure spoon, how much weight for 6 grams, and just dissolve in the boiling water.
Okay.
And dissolve and stir when it's cold. Just drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it safe to have if I have like supplements on the side, like vitamin D supplements and stuff?
Yeah. No, fine.
Okay.
You could, because you need to drink twice a day. One in the morning, one in the evening or afternoon. As long as you give it 6 hours gap between 2 drinks, it's fine. You can drink it before food or after food.
Oh,
No problem.
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So once it should last about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. If you missed one, you don't need to catch up. Just it's very safe. It's not like the medicine or drugs. So.
Oh, that's nice. Like treat it like tea,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. After 3 weeks, if you want it, like okay, I'm feeling better, but still not fully.
Yeah.
Completely cleared, you could come back again.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise just leave it.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.
消毒しますね。しみる大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。
はい。じゃあしんどい針あったら言ってください。あとニキビの周り針打って早く治るようにしていきますね。
ありがとうございます。
今の結構感じて響いた。針落ちるかもしれないですけど、大丈夫です。ちゃんと、タオルで受け止めるので、はい、しんどい針ない、大丈夫ですね。はい。 来られた時は少しお顔ほてりがあったかなって思ったけど、今逆に落ち着いた感じ、そのほてり感が、少し熱があったのかな、ちょっとそれのほてりが少し収まった感じがします。逆によかったです。ありがとうございました。はい。
Hey Melissa, how have you been?
Good, thank
So,
you.
good couple of weeks since we last saw each other. So today is your first follow-up appointment. First question, after the first appointment, like next day, how did you feel? Was it like a little bit sore and achy from the treatment?
It was, yeah. The afternoon as well, actually. I noticed it.
It's one of those ones where I always want people to feel leaving better, and it's great when you do and people feel more relaxed, but it's because of the way the muscles respond to your treatment, especially with the machines that we use, which is quite normal. But I feel like as long as I've warned my patients, it's not like a huge shock for them, so at least they expect it. Normally it's like a bit of a gym ache, and then it usually settles down within a few days as well. Hopefully that's what you noticed.
Yeah, it felt very similar to doing exercise and things like that,
Yeah, good. And then usually that eases off.
Yeah.
How have you been with your stretches that we went through in the last session over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I've been trying to do them when I'm at the computer, like sat down at the desk. Just every now and then remind myself to do some stretches, especially when my neck's hurting looking at the computer. It's really...
So with you today, exactly that. Stretches are a great tool, but usually they're a bit of a pain management tool, so that you get tight, you get pain or discomfort, you do your stretches, you feel better. But sometimes you don't want to be stuck in that cycle. We want to break that cycle slightly by starting to show you ways of strengthening your muscles, which keeps you in better positions for longer, so you don't find yourself getting into bad positions and therefore pain. Have you been having any issues with your foot or ankle?
So recently for some reason I'm getting a bit of pain like just on this foot along here. I bought some New Balance, like I did have some before, just because I was worried it's because my shoes were too old.
Can be a factor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I run about a lot when I'm trying to catch trains, so maybe I've sprained it or something.
I mean, these are a good pair of shoes, so they look like they're quite supportive in the arches, which is what we're looking for. It might just be, like I said, there's some tension in your actual foot and ankle joint, which we'll work on again during the session today. Do you have any questions for me before we start our appointment today?
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, great, let's get started.
Sounds great.
Cool, let's go. Melissa, whenever you're ready, face down for me, laying on your tummy, please. Just relax your shoulders, let them go. Perfect. Is that comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, yeah, already I can tell your posture does feel better than last time. Still a few areas like here which are a little bit tight, which we'll show you the more advanced stretches of, but definitely a lot less rounded in your upper back and shoulders than you were last time, so that's quite encouraging to see. Now, I'm going to run the first machine over your back, the thumper machine. This one's called the Maxi Pro edition, which is pretty powerful, as I'm sure you can tell from the size of it. It's a nice vibration machine. It's very gentle in a weird way, though it looks quite aggressive. It just gets into the muscles, loosens them up, just helps patients ease into their treatments as well, I find. How's that pressure, okay?
It's good.
Excellent. So again, just running over some of the muscles in your back, such as your paraspinals, rhomboids, traps. Just turn it up a little bit for you. Still feels okay?
It feels great.
Excellent. It's encouraging to see it's gliding through your back so much better than last time, which is a good sign that the shoulders aren't as rounded, which is nice. So well done you for doing your stretches.
Thank you.
hopefully a little bit over halfway. As you can probably feel, it does still feel quite nice, but a bit more powerful, right? Uncomfortable or not too bad?
No, it's still really comfortable. I can feel like all the tension melting away.
Yeah, which is nice. Now it's the first little adjustment for the upper mid-back, just to release some of the pressure here. Again, just relax your arms, nice and relaxed, careful. So, when you're ready, breathe in and out for me. Excellent. Quick little thrust. And relax. How was that?
That was nice.
Fantastic. One more time, breathe in for me and out for me. Yeah, bit of an awkward angle. Nice. And relax. You felt that one there a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Good release. Didn't actually have to put too much pressure in. We got that nice kind of release into the joints, which is what we're looking for as well. Now the next adjustment, more for the top of the shoulders. Again, similar to last time, just trying to release the pressure point here. It's much better than last time. Like I said, you're not rounding your shoulders as much, but you can still feel how there are little knots, like right where my finger is there.
Oh yeah.
Lift your head up for me. Nice and relaxed, let your head go. Let it drop onto the table. Just going to place my hands on the shoulder, a little bit of a rotation, and relax. Same again this side, nice and relaxed, not bad on this side, and relax. Give yourself a second if you need it. How was that?
Yeah, I can really feel the difference on the two sides. Like
That's
how
exactly what I was
this
just
side
going
was
to say
a
to you.
lot tighter.
Yeah, I was just going to say the exact same thing. For me, it was much more even up than it was last time. But yeah, you can definitely tell how there is more pressure on that left shoulder compared to the right shoulder. But also that's still linked in with what's happening in your lower back and pelvis, because the muscle on the lower right side of your back, where I'm poking you here, is tighter than the muscle on the lower left side of your back. So these two areas are interconnected, you see.
Oh, okay.
Now the next machine, which is called the Theragun, a bit more powerful, really gets into those knots a little bit more. The movement of the machine is a little bit more different. So whereas the thumper is a bit more of a side-to-side motion, this one, as you can see, kind of goes a bit more in-out, so it usually does get a little bit deeper into the muscle. I think this is more a percussion machine, whereas the first one is considered more of a vibration machine. Is that pressure okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, you can just feel as I'm going over the left shoulder blade, there's a bit more sort of knotted resistance.
Yeah, I can feel it much more that side.
And there's less resistance there on the right side. So even through the machine, I kind of get that feedback that there is some more knotting there. So logically, as you said, you would feel that it is tighter. So yeah, that muscle there, which we're going to show you the deeper version of how to stretch a little bit. Excellent. So when you're ready, again, take your time please. Connect your turn onto your left shoulder, so you're going to be facing towards the blue wall. Take your time as you turn onto your left shoulder. Bend this top knee for me. Now I'm just going to bring you up slightly from the pelvis. Just off your elbow slightly. What I would like you to do now, hold on to your elbows around my arm, nice and tight, perfect. Now I'm just going to roll you forwards, okay? Again, maybe a little bit more than I did last time, but I promise you won't fall.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. And when you're ready, other way and facing towards the white wall now for me. How was that release?
Oh, it's really nice.
Good. So the release needed to come up a little bit higher, just almost underneath the rib cage, and then to do that, that's why I just kind of rolled your body weight a little bit more. This side isn't as tight, so I wouldn't expect. There'll still be a few clicks, but probably a lot less. A lot of it might even release almost as I'm turning you.
Okay.
So same positioning, bottom leg straight, and then just bend the knee, here, off the arm and the elbow, hold onto your arms, again, and onto your back. You see the difference?
Yeah, I didn't really.
Just the one, pretty much as soon as I turned you, a lot less pressure on that side, which is good, but we also want to kind of obviously even that up as well, you see. When you're ready, onto your back, please. Is that comfortable how you're lying now?
Yeah.
Good. Some people notice that when they lay with their legs straight, it gives them back pain, in which case they normally just tell them to bend their knees. So again, much better on your neck than it was last time. The issue is still a bit tight from the upper back and shoulder, and it was explaining last time how that was creating a lot more pressure on the actual neck. Some tension on your neck, but again, I can feel how it's better. Ready? Just a small adjustment through the neck, especially that point there on the left, which is a little bit tender. Again, let the weight of the head relax on me as much as you feel comfortable. Yeah, there we go. Just wiggle your toes and we listen. That'll do. And then a little one here. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax your head as much as you feel. That'll do. And just going to give you a very light pull. It's always hard to relax, I know, when someone's just got a hold of your neck, but you did pretty well. Just want to do one more adjustment if I can on this left side for you, if that's okay? Again, I don't want to have to push hard, so the more you relax, the easier it is. Happy with that? Mm-hmm. There we go. Was that okay?
Yeah.
That was the main one, because like I said, that's the one that's the most blocked, and it did require a little bit more of a push, but we got it to go.
You can really feel it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong with the neck, that's what I'm always kind of worried about a little bit more as well.
Oh, it feels lighter already.
No, I'm glad to hear that. A couple of different adjustments from the last time. One's for your pubis bone, which I'll explain about more in a second. The second one's for your foot. So like you were mentioning, you were getting a bit of discomfort and tightness coming into this part of the foot here, which is just one of the joints here, which is a little bit locked. So with the adjustment, what I'm going to look to do, just release right through the base of the foot. You just relax as much as you feel comfortable. I'm just going to grab hold of the foot and just a very light push. There we go. Did you feel that small release on that one?
Yeah, I did.
Now this one, no, I think it's already released actually. That's fine. How was that?
Yeah, I felt it a lot
Just a
more.
little bit more of a pull on that one. I mean, you can really feel how the bone is much higher up on this foot than this foot. And you can really feel how this foot is generally a lot more stiff.
That's
that
the
one.
That's been hurting.
Yeah,
So.
it would make sense. Just a little bit more of a stretch through this foot. I'm just going to try that just to make sure we got all of it, okay? One more time. Relax your foot for me again. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax the foot, Melissa. Let it go. There we go. That's fine. Perfect. Now the next one, what I'd like you to do, just bend your knees for me. What I ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to push your knees towards each other. Against my resistance, I'm going to stop you from doing it. What you might feel is a small release just in your pubis bone.
Okay.
Open the legs in slightly. Just a little bit wider. There we go. Now, push in as much as you feel comfortable. A little bit more if you can. That's it, that's it. One more time, push in. That's fine, relax. Did you feel how there's a little bit of pressure just around the top of the pubis bone? There's a joint there, which just gets a bit locked with a lot of patients. And as a result, it can just cause sometimes tightness into that kind of groin area. So that joint just here, and that's what we were looking to release. Fine, muscles are a bit tight, not a big deal. We'll try and release that maybe another time. When you're ready, sit back up, please. The next thing we're going to show you is the stretch. Stand up, stand here, face the other way. So for the stretch, it's actually for the lower back, but indirectly I think it will also start benefiting more on the left shoulder. The version I showed you last time, we had this arm up and above, just on the top of the head, resting there, nice. Bring this hand up onto the opposite arm and elbow. Don't pull on your elbow. See how you want to keep your pelvis nice and strong? Good. Now the basic version involves you dropping your body weight to the left, keep going, sticking your hip out to the right. Can you feel a bit of a stretch when you get into here?
Yeah.
6 to 10 seconds, back into the middle, and then when you're ready, swap over to the other side for me. Good. Excellent. Good technique. Can you feel the stretch on the left?
Yeah.
It's not as much as on the right, is it?
No, not
So
good.
again, what I would want you to do is one more time, stretch the right side only. And then keep up with the stretches, do both sides, but focus a little bit more attention on the side that is a little bit tighter, which obviously with you is the right. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've gone through your stretches and the more advanced version of the stretches, but what I'm going to show you now are some simple posture strengthening exercises. It's trying to engage certain muscles that sometimes with patients become a bit inactive, a bit weak, and as a result it lets the other muscles dominate, and then that's what causes a lot of tightness. So these are some very simple exercises, one for your upper back and shoulder, one for your core pelvic floor to start adding in more stability, and then holding your better posture for longer periods.
Okay.
So the first exercise, when you're ready, can I get you to lay on your back so you're looking up to the ceiling? Now I am going to trick you a little bit for this first one. Are you familiar with the exercise known as glute bridge or a pelvic thrust?
No.
There are loads of different names. So I'll show you what most people do with a glute bridge or a pelvic thrust. Bend your knees for me, both sides. Nice positioning, heel around this sort of angle here. And when most people get into this position, what they'll do, arms across the body or across the chest, wherever you feel comfortable, and they kind of lift their bum off the table. So do that for me now. Thrusting up. Good. Nothing wrong with this. It's a nice exercise, strengthens a few different muscles. Good. Relax. However, as good as that is, in most patients who generally have poor, long jobs of sitting and generally do find a lot more pain in their lower back, the muscle group they're not engaging is more the pelvic floor muscle groups. And the way you switch those muscles on better when you do this exercise is like this. So before you thrust up, what I want you to do is roll your hips and pelvis so you're almost flattening your back into the table for me. That's it. Now lift up for me in that position. You probably won't get up as much, and as you can see, it's a lot more difficult, right? Yeah. So this is, again, showing how you're a little bit weaker in those pelvic floor muscles, and those are technically the ones you want to work better on strengthening and engaging to keep your back in a much stronger, balanced position. You'd think that small tweak would make it more difficult, but it does, right?
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Good, that'll do. And relax. So when you're doing these exercises, I don't want it to be a repetition exercise. I like more stability holds. So when you're in the good position, hold it 5-10 seconds if all that's what you can do, and then slowly build it up so maybe you can eventually hold it for 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yoga, Pilates coaches, they'll be again showing differences, and I'm not saying the other version was wrong. I'm just saying that for a lot of people that we see in clinic, that version is better for them and their lifestyle. But both versions are good. But for you, for example, as you saw, maybe adding that into your routine would be better for you.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
There's always ways of making it more difficult and doing different muscle groups, but to begin with, a nice one. Just one little tip with you, not bad. Can you see how your knees again just want to fall in a little bit?
Yeah.
So just always keep a little bit of a gap just in between the legs like this. You want to make sure the 3 balls of the feet are nicely positioned on the table, and you don't have that little tendency of letting those muscles roll in.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Thank
Excellent.
you, yeah.
Sit back up. So I'm going to set next exercise. This is focusing much more on the upper mid-back and the shoulder area as well. So what you want to do is you want to get a resistance band like this. They're not particularly expensive. You can find a pack of these on Amazon or other websites for usually about £5 to £10. You normally want a good quality pair though, to be honest with you. So yeah, different resistances. So we're actually going with quite a firm one today. So if you find this too much, let me know. I didn't have any softer ones, sorry.
Okay.
Find somewhere where you can hook it on. And there's loads of ways and variations of doing these exercises, I know. Now, I'm not going to call it a mistake, but in the gym, or with a lot of us, we get very tight through certain muscles, such as our traps and levator scap, which kind of runs through here. All that rounding on the desk, being on our phone. So where we actually are much more inactive in our muscle group are our rhomboids and our lats, which are a little bit more here and here. So those are the muscles you want to engage better with this exercise. So you want to be nice and perpendicular with the resistance band. Give it a nice hold grip. Careful of your wrist, because sometimes people will grip it in bad ways. So you just want to keep a relatively neutral wrist. So even a lot of gym equipment, it's designed for you to pull towards the chest, which then over-engages these muscles, which have got tight through a lot of patients through the day. It's not a bad thing to engage those muscles if you're a bodybuilder or if you're actually a professional rower. Yeah, your technique would be rowing much more towards this area. However, for most people in desk posture and working on it, what you want to do is you want to pull much more towards your belly button or even a little bit lower into the hip. So elbows fairly close to the body, nice neutral grip, and just pull back. And you just want to feel that nice squeeze in between your shoulder blades, much more in the mid-back rather than the upper back. Again, once you're in that position, it's not a repetition exercise. You want to hold it as much as you feel comfortable, 10-15 seconds. If you can do more, and then relax. Then, slightly more difficult, the same thing, keeping the arms low, but with a bit of a wider grip, and then you're pulling back. Now this is engaging more your lats. A little bit more difficult, but fine. You can do it with a bent arm or a straight arm, that's up to you. It just depends on if you're trying to work maybe your tricep muscle a bit more or your shoulders. So if people have weaker shoulders, then they want to engage more of their tricep and vice versa. So just to recap, pulling much more down, but low, and then wide. Great, your turn.
Okay.
So have a seat here for me, and then hold on to the hands. Like I said, these are fairly heavy, so don't hold for too long. If it feels uncomfortable, let me know. You comfortable?
Yeah.
Like so,
do my feet go flat on the floor?
I mean, if you can do ideally in a good setup, yeah, but it's not essential. But again, even when you're doing this exercise, remember to keep that nice tuck in your pelvis. Now, as much like you said, nice and straight on, that's good. So what I want you to do first is technically the wrong thing. I want you to pull this band and pull it more towards your chest area. Good. Can you feel how these muscles are all tensing and kind of causing you to lift up? That'll do. Relax. Now, relax. Now pull much more lower into the hip, into the belly button. Good. Didn't raise through here, and can you feel that engagement much more through the middle back?
Yeah.
Fantastic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. That was good. I know this is a pretty heavy band, so like I said, with a lighter one, you would be able to hold it more comfortably for longer. That was great. Next version is a bit more difficult, so keep the pull low, but go much wider. Good. Can you feel the engagement coming much more from your lats here now?
Yeah.
That's good. And relax for me. Challenging, right?
Yeah.
But strengthening exercises are meant to be, so that's great.
The first one felt really nice though.
That's
really,
the one pulling to the chest, you mean?
This one, yeah.
Okay, technically.
No, sorry, I mean, the first one is in, not the outwards one, this one here.
So those are more the muscles you want to work. And like I said, there's loads of variation of these kind of exercises. This is just the one I find easiest to show patients and kind of get them into a routine of doing. But even if you're someone that you shouldn't be, is quite lazy and can't even get up, there are other bands like this, even when you're at your desk. And you can just get like a very similar benefit where you're just trying to get that little bit more of a squeeze in between your shoulder blades, getting them to engage a little bit better, and then you haven't even left your desk, but really you want you to leave your desk. Try that one for me. So just a little bit.
In and out.
Yeah, and then elbows by your side and just push out. It's strong.
You made it look so easy.
That's good, that's good. Fair enough, that'll do. But you can see the point we're trying to make. You just want to do, even if it's not a big movement, it's just getting those muscles to fire up and engage a little bit better. But with all due respect, that's the point. You are weak in these muscles. That's why you want to start building more strength in them. They will help to keep you in better positions, and then as a result, you won't find yourself possibly needing to do your stretches as much because you're not going to be feeling as much pain and tension.
That'll be great.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Lisa, we're all done for today, and you can put your shoes back on for me.
Thank you so much.
お願いします。
お願いします。
おかけください。
ありがとうございます。
こちらお越しいただくの初めてなので、問診票に、記入をお願いいたします。はい。で全部で3枚やってて、最後同意書になるので、パーッと読んでいただいて、もうちょっと一応、ちょっといっぱいなんですけど、はい、お願いします。はい。ゆっくりで大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。はい。あ、そう、今日体とお顔もやります？
あ、ね、どうもお願いします。
はい、OK です。ありがとうございます。そう、どんな感じですか？
そっか、じゃあ肩こりとかも、あれも
行ってきます？肩こり。
何がいいんですか？なんか前回、すごい硬いって言われたの覚えてる。
最近どうですか、感じは？
なんか、常に硬い
感じ。じゃあ、日本語でいいかな、書いてきますね。頭
痛はたまにあります。
たまに。あとは、ローバックペインは？
ローバックペインはないですよね。
素晴らしい。
でも首と肩だけのような気がします。
頭痛くなるときはどんなときですかね？
でも多分あれ。パソコン見すぎ。
長時間の
デ
スクワークみたいな。
デスクワークで。
オフィスワーク
姿勢もこんな感じ。
OK。で、こっちに関してはどんな感じ？
ニキビは結構甘いもの食べた2週間後とか1週間後は結構ひどいニキビが出てきて、あと寝不足の時とか。
ありがとうございます。OK。時にメディカルヒストリーを話して。はいですね。疲れてますね。
疲れてます。
睡眠時間って何時間ぐらい取れてます？
8 時間は目指しますが、昨日とか7時間
7時間
でした。
7か8ぐらいってことですね。OK。 お、手足冷えやすい。
冬だとそうです。
冬だと。
すごく。
今は、夏は大丈夫。
今は全然大丈夫です。まだ暑いので。
はい。風邪ひきやすい。
です。
おー、です。どうするとひきやすいなとか自分でありますか？例えば、冷えた後とか。
でも冷えた後は絶対なります。だから必ずお風呂とか入らないと風邪気味に
なりやすい。
冬だと
バスタブとかでね。はい。ごめんなさい。これは違う。わかりました。じゃあやっていきましょう。はい、お願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
じゃあ、ちょっとこれに着替えてもらって。
こちらです。
よし、じゃあね、最初、姿勢見ようかな。姿勢チェックします。もうちょっと向こう向き。オッケー。一回深呼吸してみましょう。吐いて。もう一回ゆっくり。オッケー。じゃあちょっと座ってもらっていいですか？普段の座ってる姿勢ってどんな感じですか？こんな感じ？結構深めに座ってる感じですね。オッケー。で、こんな感じ。
こんな感じです。
なるほど。わかりました。立ち姿勢の方が気になったかもしれない。この上半身の背中がね、結構丸まってる感じがあるかな。でも今座ってる姿勢だと、どっちかってこう後ろにこう重心預けやすいから、そんなに丸まりが出ないけど、でも顔は結構前に出ちゃってる気がします。
なるほど。それは結構やばい。
だから確かに腰痛より肩こりとか頭痛とかには出やすいかもしれない。首肩の筋肉が固まっちゃう。緊張しちゃって。
気をつけます。
オッケー、じゃあちょっとそんな感じでやっていきましょう。じゃあね、上向きで寝てください。体質とかもチェックしますね。
ありがとうございます。
楽にしてください。暑がりではない。
最近はちょっとそうかもしれない。
そうかもしれない。
でも普段なら
普通
手と足が寒い方で、あんまり暑がりではない。最近はでも結構熱になりやすい。
熱になりやすい。熱が出やすい。
出やすい。
フィーバー？何度くらいまで上がりますか？
微熱で
7度。
37.4とかこう。
ちょっとだるいなって感じ。
微妙に出勤が辛い。
辛い、確かに確かに。普段平熱は6度。
36.8とか。
はいはいはい。じゃあちょっと上がる感じね。1度ぐらい。ちょっとお腹も見ますね。押すので苦しかったら教えてください。大丈夫。
大丈夫。
平気。はい、吐いて。もう一度ゆっくり吸って。はい、吐いて。OK。ちょっと今日少しマッサージも入れていいですか？その方がいいかもしれない。じゃあ今度ちょっとベロ見してください。じゃあ今度裏側見してください。もう一回表側見してください。ありがとうございます。むくみやすい。今日もちょっとそんな感じ。体が少しむくんで、ベロがね、 少しねむくんでる感じがあります。
手もむくんですか？
あとちょっとね、なんとなくうっすら白くなってて、それは東洋医学でいうと水の水分のちょっと滞りがあるかなっていう感じを表してます。っていうことをちょっと話してみます。これ痛くない？ちょっと痛いね。そうですね。結構甘いもの最近食べました？ね、ちょっとね、お顔にもねニキビ出やすいって言ってちょっと出てるから。ちょっと緊張がね強いね。わかりました。よし。でちょっと最初少しこのままで針とお灸してからうつ伏せなので、針とギュッとマッサージとやっていきましょう。ちょっと足出しますね。痛い針やったら言ってくださいね。
ありがとうございます。
お腹出してもいいですか？
もちろんね。
ありがとうございます。ちょっとおへそにお灸しようかな。これ日本のお灸なんですけど、これねシールでくっつくし、紙の台紙があるから、そんな直接ダイレクトじゃないので結構安全です。でだんだんねぼんやり最初あったかくなって、こう最後ねキュッて感じで熱くなるんですけど、辛かったら言ってください。大丈夫だったらそのまま最後まで、燃やしちゃいます。そしたら、ちょっと今日初めてこういう感じのスタイルで治療したけど、もしかしたら、お腹もどっちか緩くなりやすいのもあるから、体質的に甘いものですごい簡単にニキビとかができやすいタイプかもしれないですね。
まだあんまり感じてきたかもしれないです。
でもね、今ね、ほぼもう終わったんですよ。意外とお腹冷えてるかもしれない。
夏なのに冷えてるのか。
でもね、結構いますよ、夏なのに冷えてる人。ちょっとね、ずらして、もう一回いきますね。意外と夏の方が暑いのに、みんな結構冷たいものとか取りがちになるから、なんか外は暑いのに、なんか中は冷えちゃったりとか、そういうことがある感じがしてます。暑いですか？あまり？
今回は前回よりちょっと暑いかもしれない。
ちょっと暑いかも。オッケーオッケー。いい感じ。もうちょっとだけ。 かあんまり感じないのが不思議ですね。冷えてると結構感じない人がね、います。ちょっと意外と冷えてるかもしれない。あんまりこう気づいてないだけで、めぐさんが。よし、温まってきた。温まってきた。ちょっと暖かくなってきました。なんか気持ちいい。よいしょ。ちょっとお腹も緩んできました。そしてちょっと針抜きますね。よいしょ。うつ伏せになってもらいます。準備しますね。首に打ってきますね。で、しんどい針あったらすぐ言ってください。こんな感じ。大丈夫ですか？大丈夫です。いつもより感じます。いつもより感じる？ちょっと今日硬い。針打ってても感じます。ちょっとね、ずーんと重たい感じがするかな。あ、しますね。ずーんってね。もう一度ちょっとお灸もしますね。 かったら全然言ってください。あったかいですか？
あったかいです。うん。腰の方がちょっとだけ熱い。
熱いかも。OK です。腰はね、いっぱい乗せたから。全部できました。ちょっと消毒しますね。 鼻から息を吸って、楽にしてください。苦しかったら言ってくださいね。ゆっくり鼻から息を吸って、もっと楽で大丈夫です。ゆっくりゆっくり、ただただ深い呼吸。もう一度ゆっくり吸って、はい、吐いて。はい、吐いて。ふー、脱力。リラックス。吐いて、ちょっと万歳してください。よいしょ。はい、吐いて、ちょっとゆっくり吸って、はい、吐いて。ラスト1回。はい、吐いて。OK。はい。意外とお腹の中が冷えてたかもしれない。で、それが内臓の冷えがちょっとむくみがちだったりとか、あとね、多分ちょっとね、ニキビできやすい。体質にもつながりやすいかなっていう気がします。はい。まあね、ちょっと冬にならないと手足の冷えとかがすごい出てこないから。ですけど、ちょっと、そう、意外とちょっとこう冷たいもの飲むのとか、ちょっと気をつけてあげたり、お水とかも冷えてるものより、ちょっと常温のもの飲んであげたりとか。まあもう夏終わっちゃいますけど、夏は意外と冷たいものを食べがちになるから、中が冷えやすかったりするので、ちょっとそこだけ、気をつけてみましょうか。気をつけます。で、あと、そう、風邪ひきやすいって教えてくれましたけど、冷えって結構ね、この首筋のところから入ってくるって、一応東洋医学では言われてて、そう、だからね、首筋あんまり冷やさないようにしてあげるといいかもしれないです。で、冷えやすいのと風邪ひきやすい反応が、ちょうどね、ここのツボにも出てて、ちょうど針とお灸したところなんですけど、だからね、ほんとこのエリアをちょっと冷やさないようにしてあげると、いいと思います。マフラーとか。OK、そんな感じです。はい、ありがとうございました。